Okay, so hello again. Just a quick update video. Excuse me, my voice has got a bit funny today. It's day 7 of the fast, but I haven't completed the actual 7 days yet because I had like a midnight snack on the day that I was supposed to start, which is supposed to be Monday, but kind of being 1 a.m. on Tuesday. So effectively the crossover between Monday and Tuesday. I've actually got until midnight or 1 a.m. tonight to actually hit 7 days. So I'm not eating today, which is a bit of a bummer. I was going to try and just sort of go as long as I could, 8, 9, 10 days. And I easily could keep going longer because, as I've said before, you'd actually stop being hungry after a while. And I'm not really hungry anymore, to be honest. I've been watching, and things don't make me hungry either. I watch heaps of YouTube cooking videos and things like that. I smell people's food cooking in the hallway coming up the building and stuff. It all smells nice, but it doesn't make me want to eat or anything. I feel absolutely fine as well, like today, but I haven't always felt fine, and I'll get to that. So just before I get into the facts, stats, and everything, I'll let you know how I felt. First few days are always fine. I've done heaps of those short-term fasts, and then I started to feel a little bit kind of just worn out. Come, I think it was the 4th day or something of the fast. So I thought, what happened? Oh yeah, I was at the gym and I just got really, really sweaty. All of a sudden, felt really hot and really sweaty whilst doing my walk. That I actually had to start to do with the legs up the wall stretch, where you kind of lay with your butt close to the wall and put your legs up, just so I could lay on my back for a little while and cool down. And I briefly stood in front of the air conditioner as well because I was just like, I don't know why I'm so hot. But then I was fine after that, did a little bit of stretching, but I cut my gym session a bit short, did my walk and everything, got my over 10,000 steps in, but didn't do much of my mobility, just did 1 round instead of 3 rounds, and then came home. But then felt fine immediately as soon as I got home. I haven't been sleeping that well, which tends to happen on longer term fasts. I think fasting kind of increases your norepinephrine levels or something, so it can make it a little bit harder to sleep. And so because I felt a bit ropey on day 4, I thought day 5, you know what, I'm just going to have a lazy day. Oh, actually, before I talk about that, one thing I thought might have caused me to feel ropey on day 4 is a build-up of just the green tea, the second experiment that I was running, the green tea. Man, 1.5 litres, 6 cups of green tea, I've decided, especially the way I'm drinking it, it's just too much. It's too much. Because, I mean, green tea has less caffeine in it than normal black tea or coffee. I think black tea has like 36 milligrams or something per cup, green tea has something in the 20s, but it's still like 2/3 the amount. So drinking 6 cups of green tea is still like drinking 4 cups of tea or 3.5 cups of coffee or something. Which, especially in the sports bowl, and I'm at the gym for like a couple of hours, drinking that in a couple of hours is still a lot of caffeine. And so I think that, plus the yohimbine, which kind of jacks up the heart rate a little bit when you're running and stuff, or when you're walking, when your heart rate's up, it makes it even higher. I think that probably contributed as well. I was fine the first few days, I'm not sure why, but I think maybe over time it just built up, and then with the additional fasting and everything, and you get the norepinephrine from that as well, I think it was just making me feel a bit off. So I decided to have, on day 5, a complete rest day. No green tea, no yohimbine, no gym, just sit on my ass all day, right? But because I'm quite a big guy, I still burn quite a lot of calories even when I'm laying on my ass. I think my watch recorded something like 2,500 calories. And I'm not even talking about sitting, I'm talking about laying in bed all day long, pretty much. I got up a few times, obviously, to go to the loo and whatnot, but it's not like I'm getting up to cook or anything like that, so I was pretty much in bed the whole time. It was nice. But yeah, even that was 2,500 calories, and I felt a bit better, I guess. So the next day I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy having a walk outside rather than going to the gym. So I went to Kalamunda National Park to visit Rocky Pools, and it was only about a 5-kilometre walk, so I didn't think it would be that bad at all. It's like a little bit over half the amount of steps that I normally do. But what I didn't really account for was being outside in the heat. It got up to about 28 degrees that day. I had plenty of water on me and everything, but still with the heat. And there's a lot of change of elevations. It goes up to like 250 meters up, and then back down again, and then back up again about half the distance, about 100 meters or so, and then back down again, and then back up again a little bit. So yeah, I started to feel very ropey in the second half of that walk, to the point that I actually had to sit and rest a few times, which I almost never have to do on walks. I pretty much just always just power on, even if I'm feeling a bit ropey, because I figure, oh, there'll be a flat bit coming soon, and I can just chill, you know. But yeah, I actually had to stop, sit down, not for very long, only like a minute or two at a time, catch my breath, and carry on going. So that was a little bit alarming. And again, I put that down to the green tea. I only drank half the amount of green tea because I just think it's making me feel a bit ropey. So of the two experiments, the fasting and the green tea, even before I will get to the stats for the fasting, I actually am going to call the green tea one a failure. You can't do it the way that I'm doing. Drinking this amount of green tea in one go is too much. Obviously, if you're going to drink 5, 6 is fine over the course of a day, but I don't really do that. Maybe if I was working, because I get up in the morning, have one morning tea, first break at work, have one at lunchtime, have one at like an afternoon break, have one when I get home, and then have one just before dinner or something. That's 6 easy, but I don't want to be having them any later than that, because if you're young, it's fine. I used to drink tea, coffee, everything fine when I'm young, but I think once you get past 35 or something, I'm not sure. I'm 38 now, and yeah, if I drink coffee, if I have caffeine later in the day, even really past lunchtime, it tends to keep me up quite a bit. So I'd rather not do that. And I thought I'd be fine drinking a lot in a short space of time, but I'm not. Maybe if I stretched it out to 4 or 5 hours, it'd be fine. But you really can't. Yeah. So I'm going to call that a failure. Well, a sort of semi-failure, because it definitely helped me burn some more calories, I think. So yeah, for the stats, the first time I did a 7-day fast, I burnt something like just under 6 kilos, 5.8, 5.9 kilos, and I did heaps of walking in where was it, Exmouth or something in the UK with my mate Bragg. Loads and loads of walking, sometimes 16,000 steps a day kind of thing. But I was starting at a lower weight then. I started at like 113 something. This time I was starting at 115.2. So being at the heavier weight will probably have allowed me to burn a bit more calories anyway, because you do burn more calories when you're heavier. And also makes it a bit easier. Probably had a bit more water weight to lose. But even so, the results were still pretty good. The second time I did a fast, I burnt 6.4 kilograms. 6.4? Yeah, 6.4 kilograms, and that was my current record. I did nothing. I took it very easy, didn't really go to the gym that much at all, if ever, I think, and just lazed around the house, did normal standard activity, went for a few walks and everything. One hike, I think, with Joss, and another hike. 2 hikes, sorry, she didn't do the second one. But yeah, went on a couple hikes, that was it. So yeah, not very active, but I burnt 6.4, which is more than last time. But I attribute a lot of that to being at a heavier weight to start with. And maybe sleeping better, a few other things, you know. And having done it a second time, I knew a bit better about taking salt and all that other stuff, like keeping my electrolytes up and shit like that. I shouldn't swear. But this time, I burned on day 7 today. We are still, again, not 7 days entirely yet. Weighed myself this morning, and I was 107.3, so 7.9 kgs lost, nearly 8 kilograms in 7 days, which is amazing. Absolutely smashed my old record by 1.5 kgs. So definitely going to the gym and doing heaps of walking really helped, even though I skipped today and completely didn't do much. I still managed to hit that. But I will talk about how skipping a day probably didn't affect me too badly, because when I skipped that day, the next day I weighed myself and I'd gone down 0.8 kgs. So yeah, even just doing nothing, laying on my arse all day, I still burned 0.8 kgs. So, and then yesterday doing that massive hike where I was knackered all the time, and then weighing myself today, I'd gone down 1.1 kgs, so an extra 300 grams 1 kg, so an extra 200 grams compared to the day before. So doing all that extra activity only lost me an extra 200 grams. I don't think there was any water weight or anything lost, because after 4 or 5 days you've pretty much lost all the water weight you're going to lose. So I think that was pretty well fat and mass, probably some muscle mass loss as well. I don't know how much of that, but yeah, it's a solid extra 200 grams, which is, I guess, is quite a lot, but it's not really a huge amount in the grand scheme of things. I think if you're doing a fast, having the occasional day sitting in your ass doing nothing is absolutely fine, especially if you need it to recover. Although it didn't really help me that much, I don't think. The next day I got pretty tired. I think it was just the nature of the stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go to the gym today and maybe just do some some short heavy weights. So just a couple reps, deadlifts or whatever, just to sort of check my strength levels and things, make sure I'm okay. Do my walk, do my stretches, generally take it easy. And yeah, when I get home, I'm going to start prepping for breaking my fast, because I don't want to continue on. I could easily continue on, but yeah, it's not the not eating that's a problem. Just a second. Just gonna have some of this green tea. May as well get on it now. Yeah, I could continue on easily, but again, there's not really any benefits besides just, you know, my own personal satisfaction for seeing how long I can go. But I know that I can go a lot longer. But again, there's not any benefits, and I'll probably actually lose weight faster by breaking my fast a little bit, having some bone broth, having some lean protein, having some eggs, and then just doing another shorter fast in a couple of days, which is what I think I'm going to do. So yeah, I've started. I'm going to start prepping food tonight. I'm going to do some poached chicken breast for tomorrow. I mean, I might have it tomorrow. I might have it the day after. Oh, I might do an extra day. See how I feel. And then yeah, I've also started making milk, kefir milk, whatever you want to call it. I got some grains today off the guy, so I've just put that on already. So that'll be ready tomorrow. And yeah. And I've got bone broth as well. I just was made bone broth, so I've gotten that out of the freezer to defrost. So yeah, I can break my fast with a bone broth and then some lean protein, some kefir, some kraut or something, some lean protein, and yeah. And then tomorrow, the day after I break my fast, I'll get some eggs in as well to help rebuild myself a little bit. And then yeah, maybe do another fast, or just sort of see how I feel, see how much weight bounces back as well. I'll do an update video talking about how much weight bounces back after I start eating again as well. But yeah, otherwise I'm reasonably happy. You know, I think I look less puffy. It's difficult to say, but I guess you can compare me to the video before. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. So yeah, I can highly recommend. This is my third time doing a 7-day fast. I highly recommend it to people. You haven't really got anything to lose. Obviously, it's more difficult, you know, if you've got kids or you're working a lot or whatever. But it's still doable. And like I say, you stop being hungry really after the first few days, and it gets a lot easier. The main thing is boredom. And there's a crane outside if you can hear that noise, sorry about that. Yeah, you just get really bored. You don't realise how much food is like entertainment as well, you know, and how much of your day goes towards shopping for food, prepping food, cooking food, eating food, cleaning up after yourself. Like, it takes up a lot of your day, so when you don't have that anymore, you get a lot of time to just do nothing. Or I mean, I guess you could do stuff, but like maybe if I'd been busy doing other stuff, it'd been all right. But yeah, you also kind of don't want to do stuff because you're a little bit meh from fasting. But I've got heaps of ideas and things. Like one thing it does do is it makes you think about all the things that you want to cook now. Like, so yeah, I've got some ideas. I'm going to be cooking a whole bunch of stuff over the coming weeks. But yeah, definitely going to use this as a springboard to be healthier. And yeah, I'm going to try and keep up with the green tea thing, but I have to find another way of doing it, because yeah, the big bottle of it wasn't working for me. It's definitely helped, I think. Obviously, because I smashed my record, and I wouldn't just put that down to my previous record. I wouldn't just put that down to the walking, because like I said, I did heaps of walking the first time as well. I did have green tea then, but only like a cup or two a day. So I think it's definitely helped. Plus the ehimbine as well. The ehimbine is good stuff. But yeah, just be careful if you use that stuff. It can be a little bit funny. It takes a little while to get used to. You have to sort of ease your way into it. And I probably wouldn't take it if you have a heart condition or anything like that. Buyer beware, use at your own risk. All right, anyway, that's getting a bit too long. And yeah, I'll keep you updated on the how the rebound weight goes. and also what I weigh tomorrow as well. Cheers, bye.